Hello guys, welcome to BISP training. Today I will be discussing on how to concatenate values and load them using import formats in FDMEE. So to explain the requirement, let's say we have a requirement where we are getting the entity dimension in the source and account as well. So let's say a requirement comes and says that any third dimension, let's say product, to be concatenated with entities and loaded into the system. So the end result is to be entity underscore product. So this, since in the source file we are receiving entity, products, account, all individual columns, but our requirement is to load entity and product in a same dimension separated by an underscore. So to achieve that, let's take this example. In this file, we have a multi-period file where we have three columns of metadata. The first column is of account, second is scenario, third is entity. So to fit this data file into our requirement, let's say we want to load entity underscore scenario in our FDME. The reason may be n number of cases. Let's say our mappings are designed in that way, or maybe our business requirement is of this type. Okay, so let's go to the system. So here we have this data file where our first column is an account, second is scenario, and third is entity. We want to load in the entity column, we want to load entity underscore scenario. So as of now, I have set up the import format to load individual columns. So I'll show you how these data are getting loaded. So you can see in the entity, we are loading only the entity column. But now I have the requirement to load the scenario column in the entity as well. So for this, I will go to the setup tab and then I will navigate to the import format and I'll go to the corresponding import format. I am free to add a new import format also. However, in this case, I will go ahead with modifying the existing import format. So I can see that my third column is getting loaded in the form of entity. So this is my third column that is getting loaded in the entity dimension. So now what I will do is I will click on the entity dimension, go to add, go to dimension row, and then add one more row for entity. So you can see in the target over here that a new dimension is added against entity. I'm sorry. So I get the new dimension as entity. So what I'll do is I will type the same source column name. In the field number, I will provide a dummy field number because this row I am using it to hard code the underscore value between the entity and scenario. So I am free to put any number here, but as a standard procedure which is followed across industry, I will put it as 1. It doesn't matter what you are putting here because anyway I am hard coding it. In the expression tab, I will put it here as an underscore. So this will add an underscore after entity. I will click on save and this gets saved. When you scroll down, you can see that the FDME automatically arranges both of them. So now my next task is to load the column number 2, which is the scenario dimension in the entity dimension field. So for that, I will add one more dimension row as entity. So you can see one more dimension row as entity is added. I will name it the same way as entity, and then I will put here as the field number 2 because I have to load field number 2 as an entity. I'll click on save. So now if I go and check my import format, I have field number 3 underscore field number 2. That's what I'm instructing it to load. So I've saved it. Let's run and see the results. So I'll go to the data load rule and I will execute it. The process has been submitted and it is under process. I'll click on refresh. We'll wait for a while for it to run. So the data load rule is successful. Now I can go to Workbench and see. So you can see that in the entity field, all the entities underscore scenarios are loaded. So this is how we achieve concatenation in FDMEE using import format. So these solutions are totally script free and we need not have to use any script to implement such solution. The delimiter are also optional. You can put in whatever delimiter you want, and we can even replicate this to concatenate more than 2 fields, 3 fields, whatever is our business requirement. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope this helps you in your whenever you are working around with import formats in FDMEE. Thanks for watching.